I feel like this look is a little bit out there, but like, then again, so am I. So it's fine. Hello everyone and welcome back. I've been on kind of a 2-week filming break, which I'll explain further in the pinned comment down below if you guys are interested. But either way, hello and welcome back to a new video. I wanted to do this video back at the beginning of the month, but didn't get the opportunity to for reasons. Pinned comment, like I said. But we're doing it now. And also, if you're wondering, I use my phone as a microphone, but I'm gonna need my phone like on me to do this video, so I'm just speaking really close to my mic today. So that's just what's going to be happening. Today I'm going to be reacting to photos from my first ever convention because on Halloween this year we hit my 10-year cosplay anniversary. It doesn't feel like I'm skilled enough to be able to say that I've cosplayed for a decade. Like I really feel like my skills should be like better. But that's besides the point. It's been 10 whole years, which is crazy. It's also crazy because the memories from this first convention are still so like etched in my memory. It's one of those things where it like feels like yesterday, more or less. It does not feel like this happened a decade ago, and it's crazy to think that's been a whole 10 years, but here we are. So to celebrate, or I guess commemorate 10 years of me cosplaying, we're gonna be looking at photos from the very first time I ever cosplayed and went to a convention, which was back on Halloween of 2009. I dressed as Peach from Mario, and if you guys are wondering, that is the same costume from the Pandaween cosplay storytime that I did last month. One thing I want to get out of the way though, because I think it's really common for people like roast people's first cosplays, or for people like be really critical of their own first cosplay. I want to make it really clear, I have absolutely no regrets about this cosplay, which I will get into further as we go into the video. It's also just a cosplay that I look really fondly back on because my late mother put in so much work into this costume that it's just like, it's always gonna be very dear to me. So I'm gonna get into that later because, you know, I always like to have a moral takeaway at the end of my videos. So we're gonna be talking more about that, but I want to make it really clear, this is gonna be less of like a look back and cringe and more kind of like a look back with fondness kind of video. It's a very personal and very sentimental thing to be sharing online. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, Halloween of 2009, I went to a very small comic convention. Looking back, it was very small. There wasn't actually a whole lot to do, but obviously this was my first ever convention. And so I just remember being absolutely blown away and like in awe of this convention. So while this is an event that, you know, if I went to now, I'd probably maybe spend like an hour or two at, we spent the whole day there, and we were literally just like walking back and forth from room to room, just walking around, but this was all completely new to us. So it's really humbling and really like awesome to know that this was such a huge experience. And I mean, what you have to know is obviously like I had just started high school and I was very much bullied and given a hard time for being into fictional media as much as I was and wanting to cosplay. Like my friend group in high school was really not super supportive of me wanting to be a cosplayer. So suddenly being in this community where it was something that, you know, was encouraged. We talked to so many people compliment our outfits. You also have to understand that like Peach, she was like my girl. She's a character that I've really grown out of since then, but at the time she was my like most favorite character of all time. For like a year leading up to that, all I wanted was to get to dress up as Peach. My mom knew that, and so she put like so much time, work, and money into making the costume. It was very challenging for her, and I remember like afterwards, you know, she was talking about like, oh man, that was such a challenging thing for me to sew because I'd never made a gown before. I'm like, oh well, like why did you do it then? She's like, well, because you really wanted to be Peach and I knew how like happy that would make you. So like I said, that's why this cosplay is still going to be like very dear to my heart. There's just a lot here, and it's really important to like go back to your roots and kind of remember these things. So this is always going to be a very dear memory to me. Okay, so first of all, oh my gosh, she's so small. Look at that face. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I'm so tiny. My face is so round. Okay, so like I said, I didn't have really any friends who were really into cosplay or really supportive of cosplay and convention going and stuff in my friend group in high school. So this friend who I went with was actually a couple years younger than me, so she was still in middle school at the time while I was in high school. So we didn't get to go to the same school, but we still kept in touch, and she was actually the one who invited me to this Comic-Con. And it was really good because like I actually wasn't gonna go because I thought it was like just gonna be for comics, and I was more into gaming and anime at the time. But she was like, yeah, we're gonna go. And so I was like, if you're gonna go, I guess I'll go too. Like I never really thought about me going, and I was worried about nobody really getting my cosplay or liking my cosplay, or me like not fitting in everyone was so supportive. People were so excited to see Peach, and they were like, wow, your cosplay looks so good, it looks so accurate, and I felt awesome. And I remember catching a glimpse of myself in the reflection of the windows when we were walking back from room to room, because like the main ballroom and like the dealer's room, it was in this little hotel. To get from one room that had like the panels and the celebrities and everything to then go to like the dealer's room, you had to go outside and re-enter the hotel. So I remember catching a glimpse of myself in the reflection of like the windows that we were walking by every time we would go from room to room. And I remember seeing myself and being like, oh my gosh, like I look just like her, I feel just like her, I was living my best life. Obviously looking back, like it's not accurate, I don't look just like her, but it doesn't really matter because like I thought I did, and it was like making all my dreams come true and making me happy. So you can see like the excitement on my face. Look how small she is. My face is so different too. Like you forget how like how much your face changes. I also had a jacket. My mom made me bring a jacket, I remember, and I was like, no, I don't want to bring it. And she's like, it's gonna be cold, you have to bring it. And so I was just carrying this jacket around the whole time, and I would just hold it in photos. That's the thing, like people would take photos of me and I would just be like holding in the photo. It was an expensive new jacket and I didn't want to put it on the ground. There's another photo that's basically like the same, but like you can still like, you can see how big the grin on my face gets in that second photo. Like I was so excited to be there. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. This is like the OG selfie. So I had like my little Sony point and shoot camera, and I decided like, oh, I want to take some photos of us. So this was like before like smartphones were like a fully integrated thing. So I'm trying to take like photos of us selfie style with my point and shoot, but like there's no front facing view. So it's like really awkward. This is so, look how small I am. She's so tiny. Look at her. This is so cute. And then we have this third one that I think somebody walked by and saw us trying to awkwardly take selfies. And so this lady offered to take it for us. This is so cute. There was this Wonder Woman. I'm just gonna be like blocking people's faces out, but there's this Wonder Woman and she looked so good and she was so nice. I was kind of like a little bit starstruck because like there's this gorgeous like Wonder Woman just killing it, and I was like really shy to go up and take a photo. Afterwards she's like, I love your cosplay, it's so accurate, and I just about died over this like this like gorgeous woman dressed as Wonder Woman. This is so cute, and it's kind of, these were like simpler times. This was before being like an online influencer was a thing. This was before cosplaying online and stuff, and like it becoming more of like kind of like a competitive industry was a thing. So it was like very much simpler times, and it was so great. It was so great. Okay, so then I really want to talk about this photo. So this was actually taken by Geoctomy Photography, who is still very active photographer in the cosplay community today. This was the first photo ever that like a cosplay photographer with a website and everything took of me. All the other photos that were taken were just taken by like families and stuff, but this was the first ever photo that like a photographer came up to me and was like, hey, can I get a photo of you guys, and like gave us a card and everything. Like it was the first time. I'm holding my bag. Like the girl who I'm posing with, her mom was there at that point, and so she was like, oh, I'll take your jacket for the photo. And I was like, cool. And then I wanted to keep my bag on for some reason, and she was like, oh, I'll take your bag too if you know you don't want that in the photo, right? And I was like, no, it's fine. And I guess I thought because like you wouldn't really see it, like so cute. So I don't like, just give her the bag. Why didn't you just give her the bag? But anyway, I am so excited to have my photo taken by a like professional photographer. And obviously like this photo went up on his website. It's really cute looking back because this was the first photo of me to like ever be posted on the internet. Like I didn't have social media or anything before that. So for me, like having a photo of yourself posted on the internet kind of like, you know, was a big deal. Like God was like, oh, I'm cool enough to have like a photo posted of me on the internet. That's crazy. And so after this convention, I would go around to like all of my friends, everyone who would listen, and nobody else was into cosplay. I had a couple friends who were like kind of into anime, but no one who was really into cosplay. But I would like I was going around to everyone and being like, guys, like I'm on the internet. I'm on the internet. Like that's literally what I would say. I wouldn't say like I have a photo of me posted on the internet. I was like, guys, I'm on the internet. How crazy is that? To me, this was crazy. I was so excited. And it's also crazy because like I posted my glow up where I have a picture of this cosplay and then a picture of my most recent cosplay, which was very coincidentally Racer Daisy from Mario Kart Wii, which like we've come full circle because like Mario Kart Wii was what got me into Mario. It's what made me so in love with like the franchise and made me want to be Peach so badly. And then like 10 years later, my most recent cosplay just happens to be Princess Daisy. It's crazy. The same photographer who took this photo also took photos of me as Racer Daisy. So like we've come full circle, this is still a photographer who I work with today, and he was like the first person to ever take a photo of me at a convention. Like, that's crazy, you guys. That is so freaking crazy. Okay, so like I said, I don't have any regrets about this cosplay, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because I think, you know, obviously, like, people are always like really quick to bash their previous work. When it comes to all of my earliest cosplays, like from my first year of cosplaying, are they as good as what I'm capable of doing now? No, but I do not regret them at all. First of all, the actual cosplays being made, like, I have nothing bad to say about them because they were, again, all made by my late mother, and she became a very passionate cosplay mom. And like, oh, you have no idea how supportive she was. Like, she was like the cosplay mom. She's like, oh, you know, we gotta, you know, you're gonna look so good. We gotta make sure that everything's super accurate. Like, you know, this and this. She put hours and hours into sewing my cosplays. I wanted to learn to sew, but she wouldn't teach me until like years into me learning to cosplay, because she just like, she would complain. She'd be like, oh, there's so much work that I'm gonna have to do. And I'm like, oh, I'll learn to sew. And she's like, no, it's fine. I'll just do it. She secretly just like really enjoyed getting to make the cosplays. And like I said, she put so much work into this Peach costume. She talked about how difficult it was for her to make. And again, when I asked her like, oh, well, why did you do it if it was going to be like so difficult for you? And she was like, because you really wanted to be Peach, and I saw how happy it made you like getting to be Peach, and like that's why I did it. So there's a lot there. But like looking back at, like, obviously, like, we've come a long way. You know, I'm using my real hair there. Apparently, according to my mom, my hair was greasy. I don't remember it being greasy on that day, but apparently, like, my hair was greasy. It's pulled back, so, you know, it didn't look the best. And my crown, I was obviously really new to, like, cosplay supplies and stuff, and the idea of, like, you know, buying foam and then painting it, right? So I actually didn't know how I was gonna color the crown. I don't know, like, at the time, it sounds weird now, but, like, I didn't know where I could buy gold paint. I didn't know, like, if gold paint would work, right? Which seems like a really basic thing, but for me at 14, it wasn't. So we would always buy these same chocolate bars, and they came with golden wrappers. And so I would take these foil wrappers, and I'd like very like carefully flatten them out and then save them. And then I actually like hot glued that to the base of the crown, which was made out of a yogurt container that I just cut the like crown into. I like covered it with the gold foil and glue gunned it to it to give it the gold color. You know, it was very messy, right? Obviously, like, it didn't look the cleanest, it didn't look the best. Obviously, I would do it very differently now. Like, I have done it differently now because I did daisies. But I have absolutely no regrets about how I did that cosplay, or how I looked in that cosplay, or how any part of that cosplay went down, because all of that was a huge feat for me at the time. And all the choices that were made, like, obviously, like, you look at it, using shiny fabric is very frowned upon nowadays. People always say, like, stay away from shiny fabric. And yeah, if I were to make this cosplay again, I would not use the shiny fabric. I would use a matte fabric. But at the time, I saw that shiny taffeta, and I was like, that's exactly what I want. Like, I want to be shiny at age 14. Like, that was what I wanted. And my mom was like, okay. And I felt like $1 million in that dress. So, like, I still, like, I'm happy with that decision looking back, because it's what I wanted at the time, and it's what made me not even happy, but like ecstatic at the time. And like looking back, you know, obviously, you know, the way that I made the crown, because my mom did the sewing, then I did all the props, so the earrings and the crown. Like looking back, obviously they weren't like the best materials or best choice of materials or best like construction methods, you know, compared to what I can do now. But I'm very proud of my younger self, right? Because like I was very limited in my knowledge, right? I didn't know about like gold paint and stuff. So I just figured out other ways that I could make it happen. I think it's really important to remember that quality doesn't necessarily make the cosplay good. What that cosplay brought you, like if that cosplay made you happy, if it helped get you into cosplay, if it helped let you start to like think outside the box and figure out ways to make the cosplay and everything, like developing your skills, and, you know, brought you into a community where you felt accepted and, you know, really fostered your growth as like a person and a creator and everything, which is exactly what this cosplay did for me, then it's a good cosplay. I think there's more to what makes a cosplay good than just like the quality of the craftsmanship and everything and the accuracy. So that's what I want to be the main takeaway from this video. So yeah, I have to run off to work now, so I'm gonna end here. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any stories about your first cosplay, please by all means let me know. And also quickly, I have a new merch line that I just launched, which is a permanent merch line. It's the cosplay potato design, which was previously just available as a snapback, but it's now available as like a whole line. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, link will be down there. There will be more merch coming for the holiday season, so stay tuned. But anyway, all that said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this very sentimental video. I'll see you guys all next time. Until then, pen pieces, please be sure to take care. Bye.